Tinfoil hat. Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Revolution will be podcasted.
All right, welcome to Tinfoil Hat live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. Go to SamTripoli.gold, use the promo code TINFOIL, and you too can get in on the precious metals game for as little as $50 a month. And I just want to remind you guys, the YouTube channel is up. Go to Tinfoil Hat YouTube. Grab that, subscribe. The episodes are fire. This guy's working day and night on it. I mean, he had to take out 150 F-bombs. So, thank him. When you see XG, thank him. Very excited for to be here. Very excited for our guest. He's one of my favorite follows on Instagram. The guy is crushing it. I just want to learn how you edit too. Like, I would love to do that. I'm just too lazy. But your edits are fucking fire. Sorry, dude. You know, total fire, dude. Please welcome back to the show for the first time, for the I don't know, 3 times now, 4 times.
Yeah, third time,
and hopefully much more times. Izzy Griffin, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for having me back. It's always awesome. You guys are fucking legends, man. So I'm stoked.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for you. You're doing so well. You got sunglasses on indoors. Your future's bright.
Yeah, absolutely. It's these studio lights.
No,
you can't say anything about it.
I can't. I want to wear sunglasses indoors. I want to.
You wear them all the time.
I haven't worn sunglasses for like about 8 months now.
And Broken Sim, you wear it every week. What are you talking about?
Okay, my bad. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're totally right. How are you, dude?
I've been great, man. I've been great. Just working, getting these fucking videos out every single week. I've been like doing the most insane research, and every single time I think I find the bottom of the barrel, it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. It's absolutely wild.
Dude, you are like ninjas with butterflies. You have mastered the edits. You have master editing for an Instagram and I'm assuming a TikTok video. You've mastered that. It's really great.
Yeah, I work hard on it. I feel like you have to like have the videos be super punchy because everyone's attention span is being beaten to death by the algorithm. You know, TikTok doesn't like me that much. The Zoomers are pretty brutal. They fucking hate everything. But Instagram loves me, so that's my bread and butter right there.
Well, you're a young man. You're good looking, dude. I mean, try being an old fat ass and try to get something going on Instagram. I have to knock it out of the park just to get 2,000 likes.
And like you said, now try Twitter. Oh, no, TikTok. Now try TikTok.
Yeah, I'm not even going to mess with it.
It's so hard. It's just impossible to get traction.
I am death on Twitter. You put me on your TikTok, you're in trouble.
And the competition is only getting more fierce. Have you noticed now that it's just a good half of what comes across my feed on Instagram, like with the stories and TikTok, is AI-generated fake news stories about like people getting saved out of caves and shit like that. And it's got footage now, fake footage that looks really good already. And they're getting millions of views.
I guess YouTube's doing something about it. I guess they are now trying to clamp down on AI content.
They're not going to monetize anything that has AI-generated voices.
How are they going to identify it, though? That's my question.
Well, now you got AI battling AIs.
Yeah, that's really what it's going to be. Yeah,
that's great. You're right.
Right? That's where we're at.
But why do they care?
Because OnlyFans is going through this thing where real content creators are getting pushed out. Because the minute if you're a content creator on OnlyFans and the minute you say, I don't do that, you've lost to the AI. Yeah. That's just like, what do you want me to do? Where do you want me to do it? How do you want me to do it?
My foot in my butthole?
With
sure.
what? Yeah. With what? I'll go. You know, so it's super. Izzy, for those who may not be familiar with you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where our listeners can find you?
Yeah, obviously my name's Izzy N. Griffin. I have a super popular Instagram. It's just at Izzy N. Griffin. And then I have a podcast called Izzy's World that's on YouTube. But if you want like the real juice, that's over on my Patreon. So I do weekly breakdowns. They're usually about an hour long, 45 minutes to an hour, of really super in-depth conspiracy topics, usually in the music industry and the occult as well. And everything I do, this is the difference between me and a lot of other like kind of conspiracy people. I source every single thing that I do. So I have source documents, and I go so deep. I'm starting to lose my mind. I was up until 3 a.m. doing.
Don't do it. Don't lose your mind.
Night, so
you got to detach from it.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to understand that the purpose of what we do isn't to change anything. The purpose of this is from my point of view. The purpose is to know what they're doing so I don't fall for their tricks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that sort of knowledge and like the idea is to make this knowledge so mainstream that nobody knows where it originated from. Like I've seen stuff that I said like 3 years ago, right before I was really popular. That's like become like mainstream thought.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat.
Yeah, no, and it makes me so happy because it's like, oh, this is now a nameless truth. That, you know what I mean? It doesn't.
Yeah,
it's great.
On this show, we talk about dangerous, and then safe, dangerous. And sometimes, eventually, dangerous will become safe, dangerous. When enough people have talked about it, it enters the zeitgeist, and now everybody's talking about. Like Israel's a great example, right? Like there was a time if you talked negative about it, you lost everything. Now it's like everywhere, and there's a discussion about that. So, how long have you been doing your Patreon?
My Patreon, I've only been doing it a year.
Okay.
As of right now.
So as a guy who's been around the block for a little while and seen some shit, I want to give you a little advice. I think
let me hear it.
You should look at my website, and you can mess around with the format all you want. But if I was you, but based on what you're talking about, okay, you should create your website. My guys at Prometheus, they do it. They do it for Leonardo Joni as well, Jimmy Dore. You can put your content, your premium content, right on your website, because if you're really going big game hunting, dude, they're gonna come for you. Because Patreon, you have to serve two masters. You have to serve Patreon and YouTube. So if one of them gets a little queasy with you, you could lose all your content. And I'm not saying get off Patreon. There's a lot of traffic there, but I would always have the stuff on your website so that you have money constantly coming in if Patreon decides to get a hair up their ass and delete your channel, which has happened to so many people.
Yeah, I'm planning on doing that, of like building my own website out eventually. I have everything backed up and all that just in case, because I could definitely see that, but hopefully not for sure.
And your website is? Do you have a website right now or what's your Patreon?
I don't have one right now, a website, but my Patreon is patreon.com/IzzyNGriffin.
Okay, awesome.
So, yeah,
awesome. So your episodes have been absolutely insanity. I love watching them. They're deep dives. There's so much fodder in the music industry with the occult, from just, people coming in like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and then getting into like just demonic shit. And then all these EDM concerts. This guy can't stop doing Molly at an EDM concert. I'm like, you're going to worship Moloch. He's like, but the drugs are so good. Fato.
The music is as well.
Yeah, but then they're just hitting you with demonic messages.
I know it's hard to get away from it, but it's not only EDM. I think it's every concert, hip hop, everything. There's a little occult shit everywhere.
I went to see Paul Simon this week. He was not. There were no flaming.
You weren't looking hard enough.
Okay.
Well, I'm wondering when it enters country. That will be the weird one.
It did. Beyonce.
Oh, that's interesting for sure. That's sure. So, Izzy, where do you want to start?
Honestly, I think I've been doing this research on Sabrina Carpenter.
Ooh.
And
Oh, yeah.
this one blew my fucking mind, and it blew a ton of people's minds. So I think we could start with this one. It's really long, it's really in depth, but it's worth it. So
We're here for it all.
So yeah, this one covers everything, Sam. You're gonna love this. So Sabrina Carpenter, okay, she's a pop star. She is a ex-Disney childhood star, right? And the interesting thing with her is her aunt is Nancy Cartwright. Okay, Nancy Cartwright is the voice of Bart Simpson, and she is a Scientologist. She's super famous for being a Scientologist, right? Well, I've looked into Sabrina Carpenter's family, and I've deduced that, you know, probably some of her other family members are Scientologists, right? So I'm like, okay, you know, that's probably like where this rabbit hole ends. Maybe they want her to be the voice of Scientology eventually. You know, that's probably what it is, right? But the more and more I look into it, the stranger and stranger it gets. So
when you say Scientology, it goes instantly to weirder and weirder.
Yeah, it like this one goes back to like Stanley Kubrick. Like it's so crazy. So basically I start like looking into her music catalog, and what I find is in her first ever music video, she has a song called In My Bed. And in this video, it features 4 men that are like brainwashing her and sort of like MK Ultraing her. And you know, that's obviously kind of strange, whatever. Then I continue watching it, and I'm looking at the outfits that she's wearing, and I'm like, I've seen these before somewhere. So I keep digging, and I find out the outfits she's wearing are the same outfits that are in these paintings that were done by Kim Noble. Kim Noble is this girl who survived a bunch of like human trafficking. She was sex trafficked.
She is the one, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the paintings were used to talk about, you might want Pizzagate, right? Like those really weird paintings.
Yeah.
Whoa,
all the Pizzagate stuff.
That's crazy.
So she's wearing these clothes. The music video is mimicking her being MK Ultra'd, right? And I'm like, man, this is like just super fucking weird. So I keep digging. Then I look and I find her first acting roles are in Law and Order SVU, where she is the victim of a sex trafficking ring.
Whoa!
So I'm like, man, this is like really fucking weird. Like this is really bizarre. There's a lot more to this. So I keep digging, right? I find a photo of her wearing a shirt. It's a custom-made shirt. I couldn't find this shirt anywhere else on the internet. And the shirt says, "Awake, arise, or be forever fallen." So I look up this phrase. This phrase is the first quote that Lucifer says in Paradise Lost. So in Paradise Lost, you know, it details Lucifer getting cast out of heaven. And essentially, that's the sentence that he says to his legion. He says that to all of the other angels that have been cast out of heaven. Basically, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to continue to sulk, or are we going to rise up and, you know, essentially reign here on Earth?
Holy shit, dude.
So I'm like, this is like fucking crazy. So I'm like, okay. So I keep going. Her first ever album is titled Eyes Wide Open. And I'm like, okay, that's obviously reverential to Eyes Wide Shut.
Yes.
That's a super direct parallel. So I'm looking into it, and there's another music video, and it's shot in the Elks Lodge 99. Elks Lodge 99 is a fraternal order that had 6 U.S. presidents in it, including JFK. And this fraternal order is called the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks. So I'm like, okay, we have this kind of connection to secret societies. Her album is called Eyes Wide Open, which is like a link to Eyes Wide Shut. And I'm like, this is just like getting weirder and weirder and weirder, right? So it's going to seem like it kind of meanders a little bit, but it all comes together at the end. So just follow with me. So on this same project, she has another music video for a song called Feather. Okay. Now, Feather at the beginning of the video has the title. It says Sabrina Carpenter, right? And the font is the same exact font from Rosemary's Baby. Okay.
Oh my God.
So it mirrors Rosemary's Baby, right? And the whole music video, it's her dancing in a Catholic church. And there are 4 coffins. Now, if you recall, there were 4 men that were brainwashing her in the first music video for In My Bed, where she is talking about being a sex trafficked victim or whatever, right? Where it's referencing that, not where she says it. So she's dancing around these 4 coffins, and it's sort of showing her like killing people and this sort of weird thing, right? Then there's another music video later that's called Taste. And in Taste, she is having a battle with Jenna Ortega. And in this battle with Jenna Ortega, they're like cutting each other's limbs off. They're stabbing each other, trying to kill each other, right? It's extremely violent, like just over the top violence. And the only way that she's able to kill Jenna Ortega is with a voodoo doll. Okay. So this voodoo doll is important. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So what ends up happening, I continue to look into this, and I'm thinking, so her first album is titled Eyes Wide Open. Okay. That's reference to Eyes Wide Shut. Eyes Wide Shut was starring who? Who is it starring, Sam?
Eyes Wide Shut, Tom Cruise?
Right. Tom Cruise is a part of
Scientology.
Well, listen, there's an article that talks about how Sabrina Carpenter is going to be the next Tom Cruise of Scientology. So I'm like, that's weird. Like, she's going to become the voice of Scientology. Very interesting. She always denies being a Scientologist. It's this very weird connection. So I'm like, okay, Tom Cruise, her aunt is a Scientologist. It's filmed. Her first music video was filmed at this Elks Lodge 99, which was a secret society. So I keep digging, right? And then I pull up, there is the Joe Rogan interview where he sits down with Roger Avery and Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Right? And in this interview, Roger Avery, he begins talking about Rosemary's Baby. And he's talking about how there's a bassinet that is in Rosemary's Baby, and how this bassinet is the same one that's at the very end of Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. Okay? So he's talking about this, and he talks about how we all know Kubrick is super intentional with his movies.
100%.
Yeah, particularly Eyes Wide Shut. He's sort of trying to blow the whistle on this like human trafficking stuff, all this stuff, right? Well, at the very end of Eyes Wide Shut, Helena, who is the daughter of Tom Cruise's character, she walks over to this bassinet and she looks at it and she says, we could put Sabrina in here. And she's talking about this bassinet, right? And when she says this, she looks over and she references a giant like tower or like a display of Barbie dolls. Okay. These Barbie dolls are the 1996 Sugar Plum Fairy Barbie dolls. Okay. Mind you, the bassinet is the movie poster for Rosemary's Baby. Okay, so this bassinet is 100% reverential, right?
Yes.
So she references, these Barbie dolls, right? So she then picks one up, and hang on one second, sorry.
Real quick, while you're looking up your notes.
Yeah,
and Scientology is interconnected with naval intelligence. I mean, people don't understand that. If you go, Sam, what do you think Scientology is? I think it's a giant government blackmailing mechanism. Okay. Guys, real quick, I want to tell you about our good friends. One of our longtime sponsors, Helix Sleep. Let me tell you about HelixSleep.com.
Sam, I am so excited to tell you about Helix. I have been tracking my sleep for a long time with my Apple Watch.
You can hook it up.
I've got an Apple Watch on right here. You can see it.
Okay.
And my sleep numbers are so much better than they used to be thanks to Helix and my Helix mattress, which is fantastic.
I love it. It's so easy to sleep. It's comfortable. It forms your body. It's like, I'm so tired of these old mattresses, dude.
Ugh.
Oh, dude, imagine going to a mattress store going, hey, besides laundering money, can I get a nice bed here? And they're like, no, we just launder money. Helix Sleep doesn't do that. They get you the best of the best, okay? They have, dude, you go there, you take a little quiz, and bang, they know the exact bed you want. Midnight Lux. Hello, my friends. Daddy sleeps all night long. And guess who loves it? Pollyanna, my dog. If she could talk, she'd tell you how much she loves Helix Sleep. It is the best, okay? And it's real simple. Dude, they'll ship it right to you, dude. How easy is that?
It's better than shipping to somebody else.
Yeah, wouldn't that be weird?
Yeah.
You're like, hey, can I sleep in my own bed in your
Bro,
own
do you
house?
have my mattress at your house?
It's the best. It is. I've gotten so much better sleep. And you spend most, what percentage of your life are you sleeping, Johnny?
Well, it's like what, 8 out of the 24.
8 out of the 24.
1/4?
So we're talking almost a fourth, a little less, almost a fourth, dude. That's a lot. You need the best one you can. Upgrade your old mattress to a Helix Sleep mattress, okay? And if you have specific sleep issues, Helix mattress can address that, okay? Snoring, back pain.
No, it's
sleep-
exactly a third, right?
Yeah.
It's a third.
Okay. If you're
Not
having trouble
almost a
with
fourth.
math, okay. Snoring, back pain, sleep apnea, sleeping through the night, sleeping too hot. But my Helix mattress is my baby. I love it. All right, guys, here's what we need you to do. Okay. Real simple. Okay. Go to HelixSleep.com/tinfoil you're going to be blown away. They're doing 27% off site-wide. It's their 4th of July sale. Best web offer exclusively for listeners of Tinfoil Hat. That's right, exclusively for Tinfoil Hat. So one more time, go to HelixSleep.com. That's HelixSleep.com/tinfoil, and you can get 27% off site-wide. And we thank them for sponsoring the show. And real quick, if you go to SamTripoli.com, you check out my dates, SamTripoli.com/events. I'm going to be in San Diego this weekend. Then I'm going to be in Boston. I'm going to be in Boston. I'm going to be in Broadbrook. I'm going to be in, I believe, Kansas City, then Tulsa, then Oklahoma City, and then finally New Orleans. Now, new dates. Oh, Chicago's coming as well. So I just want to tell you guys that I'm moving my Huntington Beach episode thing. I won't be home for my thing. And then in October is it's been moved from January, guys, to October at the Comedy Mothership. We're trying to make it a big event, so come out and hang out. And then, of course, sometime in 2026 will be the 1,000th episode of Tinfoil Hat. But back to Scientology. Yeah, I mean, L. Ron Hubbard was basically sent in to basically and get into Jack Parsons' rocket propulsion and satanic group, and that is where Scientology comes from, and that's why all of these Scientologists all have some weird kind of like hidden background that nobody wants to talk about. Tom Cruise, all these stories about like. There's a very famous male escort that would talk about how Tom Cruise would hire him to make love to women in his room. And then he said Tom just watched him the whole time. That's a very famous story, allegedly.
Oh, so he's a cuck?
No, I think he's gay.
Oh.
So, and then you just see all these people have these weird kind of sexual, like blackmailing behaviors, and that's kind of what Scientologist does. So this all fits into all that, man. This is crazy.
Do you think they have something on them before they get into Scientology? Or you think?
I
they
mean,
get
that's a
into
great question. Or
Well,
they-
famously, Scientology, when you go through the auditing, they dig up everything from your past. That's part of like the process is them, and they record all that shit.
And it's like, you know, that's a big thing they think is with, you know, confession is the original blackmailing scheme. You go
that's
in,
where they got it from, for sure.
Yeah, you're like, hey, dude, I've been cheating on my wife. Well, now the priest who's in the probably the Jesuit order is now got something on you to, oh, dude, this guy's the mayor. Let's let him know.
Yeah, no, it's wild too, and like I think the interesting thing you're talking about L. Ron Hubbard and Jack Parsons. So they did a ritual in 1946. You're familiar with the Babylon working rituals?
I've heard of it, but tell us about it.
Yeah, so they did these rituals trying to summon this deity named Babylon, and in Thelema, so Aleister Crowley's religion, he describes the divine feminine as this deity named Babylon, right? And Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard did these rituals to summon this deity. And the interesting thing is Jack Parsons was friends with Crowley. He was in the OTO, which was one of Crowley's secret societies. And they tried to summon this deity. And I believe that the people in Hollywood believe that Sabrina Carpenter is this deity.
Whoa!
Yeah. So the reason I think that they were using all of this symbology with like the dolls and all this stuff, I think that because Rosemary's Baby is about somebody who has the Antichrist, right? And who is, she essentially gives up her soul to have a famous or to be famous, and she gives it up to have the Antichrist. That's basically the deal. It's like a Faustian bargain, right?
Wow.
Yeah, it's really wild, and it goes into Roman Polanski directed Rosemary's Baby, and
oh yeah.
Yeah, from there, like him and Kubrick were friends, and the same year that this movie came out, Eyes Wide Shut, Polanski had a movie come out as well called The Ninth Gate. And The Ninth Gate is about an incarnation of Satan coming about, and it is like a beautiful blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl. That's what it is.
Dude, this is insane. This is insane. Now, I want to get back to what you were looking at the notes. You were going somewhere with that.
Yeah, so it was kind of just that right there, right?
Oh, shit, dude.
There's the Roman Polanski connection, and it gets even weirder. So,
can I just say something? Everyone's screaming at me right now, but I remember watching, I think, Sabrina Carpenter at the Emmys or the what is the Grammys, and I go, she's not really that dynamic of a singer. She's not really like when you watch Britney or Christina Aguilera, and I know that's kind of older, but they really popped. I was watching Sabrina. I'm like, this isn't like mind-blowing talent, like in terms of like singing.
Not just singing. I don't think. I mean, there's not a lot of charisma there in general. I don't know. I'm not impressed.
Yeah, like she's very flat, I would say. And this is like, this kind of gets into this idea of like them almost sort of, predictive programming us of Sabrina Carpenter with this like Barbie, right? Where she's saying it's Sabrina, right? We could put Sabrina in there.
That's so crazy, dude.
Yeah. So she
that
names
is the
Barbie
craziest
Sabrina.
shit.
Yeah, and it's so fucking weird, especially like when you think about Roman Polanski was married to Sharon Tate, who was murdered by Manson, which was like a part of an MK Ultra thing. And there's the MK Ultra references in her first music videos. It's super fucking weird, man. There's so much stuff.
Weird, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the weirdest thing, the thing that like really, like I'm tying all these things together, right? And I'm thinking like there's a lot of loose ends here, but what really ties it all together, right, is there's a Christmas special that Sabrina Carpenter has on Netflix. And in the Christmas special, okay, there's like a part right in the middle, and it pauses on Sabrina Carpenter being in her kitchen, right? And she has a knife in her hand. And she looks at the knife and she begins staring at the knife, mesmerized. And the song playing in the background is the Sugar Plum Fairy song, the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy from the Nutcracker, which is what the Barbie is based off of.
Dude, that is crazy.
Yes, it's so fucking weird, dude.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I fully believe, like when I discovered that, I fully believe that they think that she is this incarnation of Babylon. I really do think they do.
Dude, it sounds like it's lining up. If you're in Rosemary's Baby, or was it Eyes Wide Shut where they say this will be perfect for Sabrina?
Oh, that's in Eyes Wide Shut.
That is so crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
How old is she? How old is
it's
she?
a wild one.
Do you know how old she is?
I'm not sure. I think she's probably in her like mid to late 20s. She was born. Oh, that's the other detail. She's born like 2 months before Eyes Wide Shut came out.
26.
She was born like right around that same time.
Yeah, May 11th, 99. She was born. That's right around.
Yeah, she's born right around that time.
And you know that horror movie about the little robot girl that like murders people? Abigail. She looks like she's got like a big head on this like childlike body. It's very, I know, something weird. I've always found her kind of creepy, dude.
Yeah, and there's all these like, a lot of people talk about how she's very like doll.
Yes.
I see that. I see that everywhere, and even in the music videos, like the Jenna Ortega one where she has to like kill the voodoo doll to kill Jenna Ortega. There's all this doll stuff. There's the Barbie thing. It's just so much symbolism. It's like, it's fucking wild, dude. I wonder if they think she's like this, like kind of, you know how they do like the MK Ultra dolls? They kind of talk about stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Or a full clone.
It's possible. Yeah. Anything's possible, but I mean, like you have this baby with a very high-ranking Scientologist. They're looking for, like, have you ever seen the video where there's just like this Indian kid just hanging out and all these crazy white people are just petting him because they think he's the incarnation of the guy's picture on the wall. And this kid's just like eating a banana and and they're just all these old hippies worshiping him. It's the craziest
like
shit.
Being the Dalai Lama. I mean,
I mean, that's it. Like somebody is just born at the right time in the right place, and they just fulfill this prophecy, and they just stick them in.
Yeah, it's funny too. The video you're talking about, I know what you're talking about. All the people are like, they look like Laurel Canyon, like deadheads.
100%.
They're all like white people that are petting the Indian dude. It's funny.
It's so crazy. So it's like, was her name, or like when they're like, hey, I'm having a daughter, this Sabrina's here. And that.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what happens in Rosemary's Baby. Like, that's kind of exactly what it is. It's like, the parallels are like super bizarre. But that one, I think that's the one where.
And the baby bassinet, what's it called? The bassinet? Bassinet is in Rosemary's Baby. Then it's in Eyes Wide Shut, the same one?
Yes, yeah.
That is crazy.
And if you don't, I mean, the baby is literally Satan in Rosemary's Baby, right? Like this hairy.
Yeah.
They show a flash of it, like in a split second flash of the face, and it looks like Wolfman. I mean, it's really creepy. It's horror. That's a scary movie to me still, even now. And it doesn't show really anything except those creepy neighbors.
What's super interesting about that movie is Rosemary's Baby, excuse me, is that they don't really talk about that angle of the movie, right? Most people would say it's a mom that has to make a decision about a kid, right? About their baby. That's how it's sold. And that's how, like, if most people, maybe even in a Wash movie, they asked you, what's Rosemary's Baby's about? Oh, it's about this mother has to make a decision about her child. It's not even talking about how this lady sold her soul and had to give birth to Satan.
Mia Farrow too. I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence, dude. I don't think it's a coincidence
who's
that she's
deep into all this crazy stuff.
Yeah, well, and the thing is too that's interesting is like it ties back in too because right before Helena, the daughter in Eyes Wide Shut, says this, where she says like I could put Sabrina in here. it flashes to the two men who end up taking her at the end of the movie. So that ties back into the first music videos from her album Eyes Wide Open, where she's being like mind controlled by those four people, right?
Now, when they're doing this, I believe it's intentional. But the question is, who's it intended for?
Yeah, I wonder if it's like this. Well, it's one of two things, right? It's either for crazy people like me who are like trying to find things, or it is this sort of like karmic retribution. We're letting you know so that way we can't be implicated on any of the negative karmic ramifications that come from it. Because like another example of something like this is Kanye West and Jay-Z's album Watch the Throne. I did a piece on this about how this album is essentially, it's like it's kind of like a manifesto. And the manifesto is essentially stating, right, in the first song, No Church in the Wild, they say, we formed a new religion and the only felony is deception. And essentially what he's saying with that is, if we tell you what we're going to do, we can't be implicated on any of the negative ramifications for this.
No karma.
Right.
Wow.
So I think that Kubrick may have been, like, let's say Kubrick knew about this and he knew that, you know, Hollywood was going to have this sort of thelemic deity that they believe is this thing or whatever, right? Kubrick could have been warning us and using these sort of allusions to Rosemary's Baby and all this other stuff to kind of let us know, right? And in that way, they too could have been using Kubrick, knowing he was doing that, as a form of karmic retribution, right? Because if you look at it as like there's warring factions within the industry as well, too. So like it could be a multitude of things.
Dude, that is, yeah, you're totally right. And that's that weird rule where they got to let us know. Like, I don't know why that rule was made. It did a lot of damage to them because they have to tell us what they're doing. I mean, like,
I don't think it's their rule. I think it's the rule of the universe, you know, and that they just that we're all
it's the
playing
rule
with.
of this dark side that says.
Well, but I think it might be like a higher rule. Do you get what I'm saying? Like that because it does do them damage, and I think that's potentially why.
Like when everyone's talking about, you know, the latest Top Gun is basically them taking out that bunker in Iran. It's almost play for play.
But I'm kind of with Johnny where I don't think they do it purposely. Like it's just part of like.
Well, I think they do it on purpose, but I think they have to.
They have to follow this rule.
Pay. Yeah, and it's not their rules that they pay by.
Wow.
Or play by.
It also like, I mean, it ties into like one of the main principles of the occult too, which is as above, so below, which is like everything is essentially a mirroring of everything with that principle, right? So everything that exists within me also exists outside of me as well. That's sort of how, you know, they view reality. The things that exist in those movies will eventually exist in reality too.
Whoa. Right? That's exactly what predictive programming is.
Yeah, it could also not be like them telling us the playbook. It could literally be a ritual to manifest it as well.
That's what I was just going to say. It sounds like manifestation.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and like you see this once you start seeing it, especially in the music industry, you just see it everywhere in entertainment, and it's like you have to really start to, you know, like compartmentalize the way you start viewing things, because you could be like, you can go down some deep rabbit holes, like I just showed you.
No, that shit is fire, dude, and that is totally lining up. You put it in you put it in a music video, a movie, a television show. It's watched over and over and over again. You put it in a song, it's sang over and over and over again. It goes back to John Lennon getting shot, right? And that like whisper that he says in the one song.
Yeah, well, it's in Come Together. He goes, what he's saying during that dun-dun-dun, you know, he's saying, shoot me.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
The room, there's different stories about it. I heard that it was like a especially long session, and he was just like tired of, you know, doing the same part over, because he was saying, shoot me. You know,
No,
shoot me.
I get that, but even
But
that
he's
is
talking about
putting
it-
out to the universe.
No, totally. I agree. It's a ritual, yeah. And I think every time somebody hears it, it charges it a little. But there are other instances of him alluding to that too. And he had always feared getting shot. Like he joked about it, you know, one of us getting popped off by a crazy, like a nutter or whatever. Like,
Well, I mean, no better example is Biggie Smalls and Tupac. I mean, they just couldn't stop talking about getting shot.
Did you read the book, The Catcher in the Rye?
yeah, I had to read it in school. Yeah.
When I first
Did
started
it-
reading
it
it, I
didn't make me
expected
crazy.
way more. Yeah, I expected way more. I was like, you think it's a book that triggers certain people?
I think it
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
I
There's
think
some
that's its
magic.
whole purpose
Magic
is
in
to
And that's why they put it in
Manchurian
schools?
candidate that shit. And I mean, again, we get into everything that we've been talking about is like, you know, about like their ability to put radio signals in your head. And if they get the right person, I mean, like everything is about timing. It's like a truth bomb drops about what the elites are doing. Next day, some tragedy happens and we all move on.
Yeah, that gets into. Are you guys familiar with the term hyper sigilling?
Oh no, let's hear this.
Yeah, okay, you guys will love this. This is directly tied into what we're talking about. So, a hyper sigil, right? So, a sigil is a symbol. It's a magical symbol, right? So, like this Y is this is like a clothing brand, right? That I've made, and this Y represents truth, right? So that sigil means something. Well, a hyper sigil is when you take something like a song or a movie and the intention behind it is that it is essentially a spell, right?
Yes.
And just like Johnny said, every time you watch it or listen to it, you're charging it, right? So the idea of a hyper sigil is you release a piece of art, casting it into the fourth dimension, which would be time in this case. And every time it's watched, it is being charged. It's charging up, right?
Yes.
So there was a comic book writer named Grant Morrison, and he had a comic book series called The Invisibles, right? And what he did was he started writing about what he wanted to have happen in his life in this series. And his life started to mirror what was happening in the comic book because he intentionally had it be a hyper sigil. So it was like a spell, and his life started to play out exactly how the comic book ended. Yeah, so that's hyper sigilling. Yeah.
Man, this show's going great, dude. It's crushing.
Sam, dude, real quick.
What?
I just Googled your name.
Why?
And your actual address, which is 327 South Crescent.
What out, Johnny?
You gotta cut me
Why
off.
would you do that?
You gotta cut me
Why
off.
would you do that?
It's already out
Johnny?
there. It's already out
For the
there.
love of God, why would you do that?
What am I supposed to do now?
Okay, then you're
Well,
supposed
no,
to
you're
do the
doing.
phone.
Then you do the read.
No, then you do your phone number, and I'll be like, "You mother!"
Oh, you wanted to continue that?
Yeah. Okay. Start again.
Okay, let's do.
Here we
do
go.
it. 1,
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Guys, this episode is. Let me start again.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Guys, this episode is crushing so
This
much.
is crazy. Okay, hold on, just a second. So I just Googled your name, Sam.
What?
And
Why?
your address comes.
What the hell?
You gotta let me read the fucking-
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Wow. Actually, is this episode crushing or what?
Amazing.
Hold on, just one
What?
second. So, Sam, I was just Googling your name, as
Yeah?
I
Why?
often do.
Why?
And your address came up. It's 327 South
Johnny, what the hell are you doing? Why
All
are you
right.
doing that?
You're right. Now is your phone number, your new phone number, is it 310?
Johnny, why would you say that on the show? That's just ridiculous, dude. Where'd you find all this out?
Dude, you can pretty much Google anyone or anything and find out all of their private information. These sites are run by data brokers who collect your personal info, package it, and sell it to anyone who wants it. And that's usually scammers and spammers. That's why you're getting all those weird texts in the middle of the day, like, "Hey, you home?" and all that kind of stuff. They got them from data brokers online.
Oh my God, it's really
Completely legal in America too. And the interesting thing is that brokers are legally required to remove your info
Oh.
if you ask them to, but
Really?
they make it super hard to do. Or you can do what I do personally. I use Aura, the
Oh, wow.
sponsor of this video.
Oh wow.
I'm going to send you their information right now. Check that out.
Whoa! Aura identifies data brokers exposing your info and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Give Aura a few weeks and you'll stop seeing your information on these sketchy sites when you search yourself, okay? Aura also continuously monitors the dark web and alerts us if they find any of our personal information exposed. They're going to let you know fast if anyone tries to use this information to access your credit or your bank accounts, okay? Plus, they give you up to $5 million in identity theft insurance should the worst case scenario happen. They also have a world-class VPN that allows you to browse and shop safely from any location you choose. Does your current VPN have all those other features too? Probably not. You can go to our link at aura.com/TFH to try 14 days for free. That will be enough time for Aura to find which data brokers are selling your information and start submitting opt-out requests on your behalf, okay? So it's real simple. Go to our sponsor's website, aura.com. That's aura.com/TFH to try 14 days and let Aura go to work protecting your private information online. And we appreciate them sponsoring this show. Hey guys, real quick, I'm going to tell you about our friends at Cornbread Hemp. They got everything. What do they got, XG?
Gummies, seltzers, everything you need.
They got everything you need in one place. So let me tell you about Cornbread Hemp.
Cornbread Hemp CBD gummies are made to help you feel better, whether you're dealing with stress, discomfort, or you just need a little relaxation. They only use the best part of the hemp plant, the flower, for the purest and most potent CBD. And all their products are third-party, lab-tested, and USDA organic to ensure safety and purity.
All right, so right now, Tinfoil Hat listeners can save 30% off their first order. Just head to cornbreadhemp.com/tinfoil and use the code tinfoil at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/tinfoil and use the code tinfoil. And real quick, before we get back to it, I want to take a moment to thank Haley Sustiata,
I'm sure that's it, yeah.
Stayt. I just want to say, I've been wanting to do this for a while. I want to say thank you so much. This is a big apology to you. You sent my girls some precious metals, okay? You sent them some U.S. gold coins and some gold backs. And I just want to say thank you. And her Instagram is at @just_Haley, HAILEY on IG. And I just want to say thank you so much for saying that. I know it was a while ago, and Dana keeps going, did you say? I'm like, oh, I forgot to say thank you. So thank you. Now let's get back to it.
Great people.
Great people.
Great people.
Also, thank you to the guy that sent me the baseball hats that Sam can't remember the name of. Thank you to him also.
Man, I mean, like I've told people when I was during COVID, I was just doing all these gratitude lists and goals lists, and I had so much time on my hand because nobody was doing anything. I would write a really long life goal list. I can't tell you how many of those things have come true or on the verge of coming true. And it gets into what the Nephilim Death Squad guys say, which is, the spoken word is way more powerful than anything else. And by writing it down, you're also charging it.
Yeah. No, yeah, 100%. I mean,
I can't get my friends who are in a rut to understand this. Again, Joe Rogan just had a guest on, this female author, and she says depression comes from thinking the same thing over and over again. I personally think it's when your program and reality clash. What you're told is true and what is really true clash, and they don't match up. That's where depression and anxiety comes from. That's my personal opinion. And if you are in a rut and things aren't going good for you, you have to manifest the better life. And the people just can't do that. They'll write down one time. I'm like, drill it in, dude. Drill it in. Write it down. And it does happen. And this gets into what we talked about in the last episode before this one. My Christian mystic views. I mean, Jesus did a lot of magic, dude. You know, and I'm going to lose people on that. And I'm sorry about that. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just telling you observations I've made. There's a lot of manipulating of energy in that stuff.
No, yeah, 100%. Like the way that I look at the word like magic, quote unquote magic with a K, right, is it's a perspective. Like you can look at anything in any way and give it a sort of definition in that way, right? So like to me, I don't know how the algorithm works. To me, that's magic, right? Like that's a magic thing. So I don't think it's a far-fetched thing to say that like Jesus did magic at all. Like I think it's a way of defining something that we can't understand, you know?
Can I say though? No, I think some people who come from Christianity, especially traditional Christianity, are resistant to that because there are some verses that kind of warn against that. Like I just pulled them up here, Matthew 6:7. But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. So these ideas of repeating things over, you know what I mean, like that. I think that's why I always heard that you kind of weren't supposed to do that.
I get that. I do get that, but it just seems to work.
Here's one in Ecclesiastes. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore, let thy words be few.
I get it.
There's a couple of
I'm
verses.
not. I'm just telling. What I've been.
No, I agree. I just always I just will tell you why I think.
Well, and there is a notion that Satan hears this and gives you it to detach you from God.
Possible.
I don't know what the answer is. I'm just telling you what it seems.
It'd be hard.
I mean, we have a guy who just made a TV show to influence his life, and it worked.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's super wild. I think that's like Johnny. To kind of piggyback off what you're saying, I think a lot of that then becomes intentional, right? Like if you're trying to do something nefarious, like manifest, a demonic deity. That's like bad, you know. But if you're trying to like do something good, like informing people or something, you know, you have like a good intention behind it. That's like a lot of like the I don't know.
To get back to Sabrina Carpenter, part of me thinks that it is possible, you know, and again, you talk about the warring factions within the occult, 100% true. And you can go into the warring factions within Hollywood. I don't know what the Jews and the relationship between the Scientologists is. I always said, you know, if you want to make it in Hollywood, you join one of a couple groups. One is the Jews, the other one's the Scientologists. AA seems to have a lot of powerful, you know, some people in AA get some stuff going. And I forget what the last one was. There was one more, and I forget what it was because this is from a long time ago.
A group with juice in Hollywood?
What?
A group with juice and hot, like heat and like can get you heat in Hollywood? Is that what you're saying?
Like if you join these certain groups.
What else would it be?
Gay.
Yeah,
like if you're into the gay mafia.
I was about to say you can't join. You kind of have to be gay.
No, you can join.
Bro, I am telling you this.
They like that better.
Guys,
they love that. Dude.
Listen to me, and I'm dead serious. Watch female comics come out as lesbians, suddenly lesbians or bisexuals, and watch their careers explode. It happens all the time. And female comics are allowed to say things that male comics aren't allowed to say. They can do literal phone sex in their act. And I'm not judging, and whatever the crowd wants you to do, have a good time. This is not an anti-dirty female comic rant. But I've watched women, female comics, make giant announcements about being either lesbian or gay, and their careers explode. And it's happened multiple times. I'm not going to get into who they are, but multiple times. Okay? So these are very powerful sects. And I'm sure there's some gay Jews out there, some Scientologist gays, some alcoholic Scientologists.
The most powerful people, yeah.
You know? But going back to Sabrina Carpenter, I wonder if they're kind of like saying, because forever we've been told this a long time, that Beyonce is the powerful witch. She's the powerful witch, And you see all these Grammys where like they win the award and they just thank Beyonce the whole time because they don't want to piss off the Queen. But I wonder if the mechanism of the machine of Hollywood is like Beyonce's aging out. She's like she's the older group, and we need a new queen. What do you think of that?
I could definitely see. I could definitely see that, especially like we're kind of talking about Sabrina Carpenter, and you're saying how like she's not really the greatest singer. She's pretty even keel. She's like attractive, but not like stunning. She's like it's like vanilla ice cream. Like everybody like will eat vanilla ice cream. You know what I mean? And I think it's definitely what you're saying, and especially if there's any weight to this thing that she's could potentially be this deity, and especially if they believe that, right? 100%. I mean, I could definitely see that.
And even Taylor Swift, they're talking about how she's like, was she like 37 now?
Yeah, she's older. So. Yeah.
Which, isn't really that old, but when your songs are all teen bop songs,
35.
Right? 35. And you're doing songs for high school girls, which is her bread and butter. Like, I mean, maybe not high school girls, but teenage girls that will grow older and follow her. Yeah. She's kind of starting to be like, okay, now is she still the relevant one? This girl could sell out Ram Stadium 5 nights in a row, but
who are they going to try? Who was the one that came out? She was Disney. She came out lesbian, didn't work out.
Oh, JoJo?
JoJo Siwa, yeah.
I thought she was gonna come right after Beyonce, but she ruined her whole.
She went too hard, and she went too hard, too retarded. I mean, the thing she was doing, everyone's like, and part of me wonders because now that she's getting dick, she's just gone trade wife with her latest video, and she's come out and said that I don't know if it was her parents, but her management team pushed her really hard to come out lesbian.
Really?
Yeah, she's come and said that.
Oh, they're going to kick her out of Hollywood, dude. She's done.
She doesn't care. She loves dick now. She doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, she's going like, she covered, what was it, Betty Davis eyes or whatever?
She's got like Betty Davis eyes. Yeah.
It's like a super trad thing. And I actually kind of know people who work with her. And it's literally exactly what Sam is saying. It's exactly what Sam is saying. Yeah.
And just think about that. Like, it goes back to Johnny and I when we talked about Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
And like him trying to convince everybody it wasn't what they were saying while simultaneously talking about putting like hardcore gay themes into Pee Wee's Playhouse.
It was the opposite during his day, though. You couldn't come out.
But again, we get into subversion. Yeah. It's all about subversion. So you have a bunch of kids, and this show had like an adult theme, adult swim theme kind of feel to it, where it was like a kid show, but college kids were watching it. Yeah. And then he opens the door and there's 2 like glistening gay men doing construction. And he literally talks about trying to get gay themes into this kid show, which is what everybody does not like.
And fear. It's like what everybody's talking about all the time. And
100%. So again, we go to JoJo. Dana worked with JoJo. She did a JoJo commercial or video
when she was like a kid.
Yeah, and like and then all of a sudden she turns gay, and everything's about gay themes and trans and all that shit.
That's funny. I've literally never heard of her. I don't know who.
Oh, dude, it's a crazy. We kind of talk. I don't know.
When I first heard of her was when Mickey Rourke or whatever was like getting into her ass on.
And he literally talks about he's gonna turn her.
Yeah.
And then literally a week later she got turned.
I mean, isn't it? That's crazy.
But at some point, she's probably I got so much money, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I just want to get lit up by men. And it goes into that funny video that I watched one time about this lesbian who wanted to show support for trans. So she goes to a trans summer camp, like where trans all go, and she meets this trans, and they start fooling around. And now she's like, I want to date this trans, which is, and I talked about this with Brian Kellens, which is this Lord of the Rings journey just to say you like dick. That's literally at the end of the story. Your story is you got dick for the first time in forever, and you're super happy now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super interesting because it's almost like bisexuality is like a prerequisite to be a pop star now. Like, and I'm wondering how much of it is like genuinely authentic, because like sexuality is obviously a massive part of the occult. You know, you had like Aleister Crowley was all into sex magic. He also like really made popular this idea of libidinal energy.
Libidinal energy. What is that? Libido stuff?
Yeah, so it's your sexual energy. So like what Crowley was like really into was essentially harnessing libidinal energy. So if you think of like humans as these spiritual beings, you know, there's different levels to accessing your spirituality. So like if you have someone like Jesus Christ, let's say, you know, he would fast and he would pray and he had like a spiritual discipline, right? And if you have somebody on the opposite end of that spectrum, someone like Crowley, who's doing drugs, very low vibrational, you know, he loves sex, you're trying to harness these different aspects of your spiritual energy, and sex energy or libidinal energy is one that's really easy to get access to because
it's low vibrational.
It's low vibrational, exactly. And that too, that ties into why, you know, Sabrina Carpenter or Travis Scott, you know, these people have, you know, not only like McDonald's deals where they have these like low vibrational, even in the food, right? But it's like Fortnite and all that other stuff too, because it's like low vibrational. They're trying to tap into this super low
Minecraft. There's
energy.
a scene where the Jason, what's his name, is in it. The big Simone.
Jason Momoa
Jason Momoa and Jack Black are 69ing each other
in the sky, right?
in the sky. And like I really enjoyed the movie with my daughter, but I go, that's not necessary. You know, kids are here. Why are you doing that? And we all know anytime you hear the numbers 69, everybody goes 69. Right? 69.
Yeah, Sam barely has a password that doesn't have 69 in it. It's like,
But
Well, that too is like a Crowley Thelema thing. Like, because the reason that they're trying to get to the kids is because and Sam, you're familiar with like the Aeon of Horus stuff with Crowley, right?
yes.
Yeah. So the Aeon of Horus, Crowley created his own mythology, right? And each one of these deities, right? So we have Babylon, we have the Aeon of Horus. They have their own, you know, symbology and their own archetypal characters or deities associated with them. The Aeon of Horus, the deity associated with that is the crowned child. And the point of the Aeon of Horus is that the energy that is supposed to be surrounding the world is childlike energy. So that is why it's always like about the kids, and they're doing the jokes for the kids, and Sabrina Carpenter is flirting with 16-year-olds, and
Yeah.
they're harnessing that libidinal energy to try to dispense it outwards, right? Like to put it out in the world, this child Aeon of Horus energy. It's really bizarre.
And if you corrupt them early, it does immense damage to them for a very long time.
Right. Yeah.
There, you know, there's obvious trauma and then there's subversion trauma. And, you know, like I talk about it all the time, the introduction to pornography in my life very early on did immense damage to me. Immense damage.
And now imagine what it's doing to kids now.
And now we had to find it. Now it's on the phone.
dude, I remember waiting like 10 minutes for a photo of Kathy Ireland to come up in a bikini. I mean, now you can get anything you can think of now.
And it's gotten to the point where like pornography is so prevalent that women now think that is actually what they want to do. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like normal sex is becoming porn sex. It's like flipping, you know?
Yeah, and then this really like full contact crazy extreme sex is now more and more
the Gen
normalized.
Zers, dude. When I first moved to LA, I heard like really young girls, like 17, talking on the aisle across from me in Target. I don't even want to repeat, like some of the filthiest, it was like 3 or 4 of them, just the filthiest stuff. And I was like, damn, these things are different. Things have changed.
What do you do? Like, let's say you have a kid, you give him a phone, and you go on his phone for the first time, and you catch him on Pornhub. What do you tell him? Tell him, don't go too deep. Stop. Like, where do you? I don't know. How do you handle that?
What you have to tell them is like, this is dark energy.
Yeah.
This is not reality. This is dark, dark energy. And what you're watching in those videos are traumatized people.
It starts though with parenting, right? Like, don't let your kid unsupervised on a computer.
It's almost impossible, Johnny.
You gotta try it. You gotta try.
And it's so like. It's I can't get into it because then I just personalize it, but it's like it's so hard, dude.
But you can already imagine it. Like you said, hide it from your kid. Okay, your kid goes to the park. One of those kids has a phone. Hey, you want to see this?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it. You just gotta like Sam said. You gotta let them know it's bad energy from the beginning.
It's not real. It's not, and it's just gonna lead to people having an inability to bond. But it's all subversion. That's why they want to get them early. That's why they want drag queens reading to children, because it introduces data that they're not ready for. And we've said before on this show, kindergarten's meant for A, B, C's, D's, 1, 2, 3s. It's cross-dressers and drag queens and trans are advanced algebra.
You know what else?
They're not ready for that data.
You know what else I find weird? I mean, I don't know. You're a lot older, but a lot of my younger,
I'm in the room.
Like a lot of my younger homies are eating honey packs. And I'm like, you're too young to be taking honey packs. Like, it still works.
What is that?
Little, basically Blue Chew, but they're like, they sell them at the liquor store. It's basically just Viagra. The honey packs. I don't know if you've seen them.
Oh my God.
You've heard about them, right?
Sam's like, where do you get these?
No, but I like,
and it's in the
it's
young.
like when I see a kid at Starbucks, I'm like, why
I was
are
hard
you here?
all the time when I was there.
Dude, I'm hard now. I get hard now.
Truly.
Dude, we were talking to the Punisher
problem.
on Broken Sim.
Yeah.
He's got a robo dick now. He's like, they got it like robotic.
We talked to the guy from the Diddy trial, the Punisher, and he did. So I think I didn't want to say this, but he was talking about how he did a penis pump, and that's damages your dick, the penis pump. So I bet he like overdid it, in his younger years. With the penis
I
pump.
mean, he's got to be on call all the time.
Now he's just got like a button he can push, and it goes. Zoop.
Yep, it's crazy. It's crazy, dude.
That's sad.
He was
a great guy, though.
No, it was a great interview.
Yeah.
If you can interview him, he's so much fun.
How'd you guys get him?
His publicist
reached out to
reached
Sam,
out.
man.
We're
Nice.
important people. So yeah, this is all subversion, dude. This is what it's all about. And again, you bring up great points. If you say it enough, it manifests. A great example, Howard Stern. I'm the king of all media. He just kept saying it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and the king of all media, Howard Stern. And it's just like, now he's the king of all media. He just made up a title, and now we all attribute it to him.
And everyone gets mad when I say #1 podcast in the world, guys. #1 podcast in the world, guys. It's going to happen.
Yeah. That's crazy shit. What else do you got? You got anything else?
Man, I have so much stuff. The Diddy stuff is super interesting right now, too. Him getting off is, in more ways than one, right, is pretty crazy. Like, I don't know. It's interesting how, like, Kanye West was right about all of it. Like, because a couple years ago, Ye said that he was a Fed, right? And everything that's happening is just kind of proving that to be the case. It's very interesting.
Yeah, like he is an interesting guy, because it's like, okay, you're saying he's a Fed, but then you're saying release him, and then you're trying to show up to his trial. They won't let you in. And it's just like he doesn't let you know if he's coming or going.
Oh, dude, and he has to go now. He has to go to Slovakia to even play a concert.
Have you seen his new concert? He basically takes the whole middle of the field and everyone sits in the stand and he's just running around
in the middle of nothing.
He just played Hail Hitler for 75,000 people.
And they all sang
and
it.
They all loved it. What was Japan? They were part Nazis.
Oh, well, dude, they were worse than the Nazis. I just saw a video on that. Like
what they did to the Chinese, dude. Oh.
When the U.S. soldiers, where they were like, if they got captured, they want to get captured by the Germans and not by the Japanese. Because if they get captured by the Japanese, they know they're never coming home.
It's funny. It's the same way with the Germans. They would much prefer to be captured by the Americans and the Russians because of the shit they did to the Russians. So they were all rushing to the east to try to get captured by the Americans.
Imagine just rush and get captured. Just like, all right, I'd rather get captured by this guy.
Yeah,
than that guy.
they really were, though. Yeah, they were desperate to be captured by the Americans and the Brits.
Yeah, it's all wild. It's super wild. I think a lot of the reason Ye was kind of coming to the defense of P. Diddy is because of like the reason that I personally think that the whole sort of like public humiliation of, trying to convict P. Diddy, it was like a racial thing because he sued that liquor company, right?
Ciroc, it all went back to Ciroc,
Yeah, so I think that Ye coming to his defense is more of a like civil rights, we're both, black kind of a thing.
We're both black billionaires in a white world.
Yeah.
It's so hard on us. Look at my white wife's tits. Impossible. But that brings us back. I was just thinking about reaching out to Bishop Larry Gators just to bring back the old team together.
It would break the internet.
I would love it.
It would be a great comeback.
But those episodes from somebody who listened since like episode 1, those episodes with him would blow my mind.
So good, dude. So good.
So good.
And if he just didn't call us Satan worshipers, he would have came. I mean, like he got mad because this is the show. This is the show. We're going to let you say what you want. We push back a little here and there. But for most part, it's like, this is the guest. Say what you got to say. God have mercy on your soul in the comment section. That's it. That's it.
We'll let you say anything, including that you have like 135 million listeners.
Yeah. So he got mad at us because he got blowback and there is a tiny part of it that could be true that Trump was in charge when Biden was there. There's a lot of like things that don't make sense about Biden. Okay. Not saying it's true, but there are weird things like all of his press conferences weren't in the White House. He never flew on Air Force One, all this crazy shit. But he was talking about that's why Kobe got taken out because he was suing the pharmaceutical companies.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I think there's truth to that. It's again, Kobe, you were a shark. You were a great white on the basketball court. But man, you went into like a shark tank that you were not even close to the biggest shark in that tank. And you thought you could sue these guys? Not happening.
Yeah, well, interesting you say that, actually, especially after like what we're talking about with P. Diddy and the liquor company. The producer, Scott Storch, who worked with Ye a ton, he said the same thing. He was like, you don't go after tobacco, you don't go after firearms, you don't go after liquor, and you don't go after the pharmaceutical companies. And he said that like just the other day. And the first thing I thought of was literally what you're talking about. I was like, that's what Bishop Larry Gator said about Kanye West, or I'm sorry, about Kobe Bryant and the Boulay Society. Yeah.
Yes. And there's a part of me that thinks LeBron James is playing as long as he is because he's nervous when he no longer brings value.
Yeah, because his production career didn't exactly work out in Hollywood.
Everything he did sucked. Because he's the most gifted guy ever at athletics, or at least one of them in the Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders level of athleticism. But man, once that comes to an end,
how do you think they're going to take him out? You think they got some blackmail?
I mean, I don't know if they'll take him out, but I always said this about Dwayne Wade. Like I used to hear so many stories about Dwayne Wade, about how he acted in like hotel rooms. I'm like. Because if you study the story of Michael Vick, it is exactly what happened. Michael Vick, and when he had Coca-Cola and Nike, he had all these handlers that cleaned up all of his mess that he caused, in like this wake of chaos everywhere he went. But the minute he came out as the guy that really wasn't going to win a Super Bowl because of his style of play, like the NFL wasn't ready for that style of play. They weren't built for that. Once that became obvious he wasn't going to win a Super Bowl, they all kind of went away. But he was still doing the crazy shit he was doing, you know? And then the dog stuff comes out and he's just gone because there's no one to control it. Like now that LeBron James he's still in the NFL, he's still in the NBA, and that story comes out about him being on roids or some PEDs, that story dies within 2 days. Nike kills it on ESPN. That's why they buy all the ads. Almost every ad is a Nike ad. And then you saw, what was really weird is you saw it in the independent content creator. They all stopped talking about it, like the Gilbert Arenases, because I guarantee you Gilbert Arenas still has some kind of weird shoe deal or has some weird kind of like any kind of sponsorship. They're like, we'll pull all this shit, dude. You keep talking about this. Our sponsors don't want you talking about this. Bang, stops talking about it. Now it's off of YouTube.
You know what? That's so interesting you say that about the content creators too, because that ties into something I researched a long time ago, was this night media thing, and how like I started thinking about it really when the Costco guys were popping up everywhere. I was like, who are these just guys? Why am I seeing them so much? So I did a bunch of digging, and there's a company called Night Media. It's a talent agency, and they prop up like these content creators, and then they inject them into your algorithm as if they're natural. So it's like Kai Cenat's managed by them, the Costco guys, Mr. Beast is managed by them.
Yes,
And
I just saw a video on that.
yeah, and
Maybe it was yours.
Did
Did you do something on Mr. Beast recently?
I did something on, so I did a video about that like 3 years ago, but I did another one recently, and it's like what you're saying, right? So these massive companies invest into these talent agencies, and these talent agencies then find these content creators, and they are managed by them. So they just make whatever content that the talent agencies want them to make, or don't want them to make, right? So it's like all of the like front page of YouTube, all of those people are being managed by these talent agencies that have investors like Nike, Disney, Amazon. It's all fucking corporate.
No, you're totally right. And this is going to be a little controversial, but you know, when you look at like the Oscars and Jewish people make up 2% of the population, but they make up 40% of the Oscar winners, and you go, well, if Hollywood's dying, how are they going to be able to prop up these people? Easy. Reach. They're going to do it through reach. Who are they going to allow to have reach? And we've talked about it, and the ADL talks about it. Freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach. And that's how they're going to do it. You know, Johnny and I and Xavier's talked about Lex Friedman. Like, no one understands why that air conditioning unit is where he is. Well, I'll tell you where he was. It's because he's on the front page of YouTube every day.
Every day, yeah.
I was saying that like 3 years ago, dude. I remember one time I was in treatment, right? Like I've been sober for 3 years or whatever. I woke
awesome!
up
Me too. I'm almost 5.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I woke up, I was in treatment, and I had my own room, and I had the TV on, and I woke up to the mumbling of Lex Friedman, and I was like, who is this guy? And he would always pop up, like if I would fall asleep with a video on in the middle of the night.
Yep.
And it's like, who is he? And then come to find out, all the stuff of him at MIT was like fake. He was like a teacher's aide or something. Huh. He's not this like big professor. It's
he's from you're right. He's from some other college, and he did one class at MIT. He does whatever he does. You do for free, then they give you a degree, and then you can just say you're from MIT, but he's not from MIT. He's from some other college his dad went to.
Isn't they wrote code for Facebook? Isn't that his big claim to fame?
Yeah.
Elon Musk had his back or something. I think he reviewed.
Of course, they're all nerd dork autistic fucking weirdos.
Yeah, you know who got hit with those talent agencies was Candace Owens and Tucker. I guess Candace was paying $5,000 to any influencer that would send them the email of like people telling her to start a smear campaign after she went after the Jews, and she got an email for $5,000. And it was just a smear campaign telling her to go after her, Candace Owens.
100%. You see that right now with the Epstein stuff, right? Charlie Kirk, D'Souza saying almost the exact same thing. It's time to move on. It's not that important. You're like, what? What are you saying to us? Oh, you got marching orders. When Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, and D'Souza all are on the same side of the Israeli war, and now are like, we got to move on. And like, I mean, Ben Shapiro must be at home crying with his little mouse voice. I'm going to lose everybody. You know, but it's just like, hey, dude, when you take that money, when you sell your soul to that, and like, again, like Ben Shapiro's numbers are like a fraction of what they used to be because he's so on the wrong side of everything right now. He made his bones just like Charlie Kirk did. Curb stomping blue-haired 20-year-old progressives, which is like the Glass Joe of debating. Okay, you like really easy shit. And now that like the issue has changed and he's on the wrong, he's losing everybody because he's not authentic. That's what we're talking about. When we're talking about vibrations, authenticity.
Well, he's also authentically a Zionist. And as long as that issue doesn't come up, he seems like kind of a normal guy. But then you see how truly extreme his views are with respect to Zionism.
No, but what about his new thing
entirely.
where he's like, listen, guys, nobody should be retiring at 65.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, what?
Why would you say that out loud?
If I didn't work hard my whole life like you, then maybe I would want to not retire at 60. If I had a cushy job, dude, just talking to the camera about Zionism every week and how much, the Israelis are the heroes of the world, then I'd probably keep going. That's not too hard.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
If I just spent my whole life breaking my back in a factory or something, I'm out at 65, dude. I earned it. He sucks.
And going back to the P. Diddy trial, like this whole thing is demoralization, dude. They literally want you to think because the elite's strongest card they hold, or what? Like we're playing poker with the elites. They want us to believe they have like a royal flush. They want us to believe we hold the card of you can't do anything to us, which isn't true. But they've got us so divided between, like, especially on this, like, look at what the Epstein thing has done to the right. And everything is about destroying the right. Everything is about destroying the right so they can't come together to make the country stronger. And they got it with this Epstein thing. They got it with the Israel thing. We're all infighting with each other. And now I'm a neutral guy because I think both sides are crazy. I would prefer we live in a conservative world with a liberal, old school liberal, not progressive, old school liberal rebellion. But they got us fighting, and no one's going to come together, whether it's Israel or whether it's Epstein, which is kind of the same thing. They destroy, and P. Diddy getting off, sending in Comey's daughter, who is just there to throw the fight. I mean, even the Punisher yesterday said the prosecution was asking the dumbest questions.
Yeah, it's 100%. I think it's definitely that Diddy basically stepped out of line, and he's a part of this big machination, this big machine. And as soon as he acted with a little bit of like agency, they were like, "Yeah, watch what happens when you do that." Because it reminds me of like what happened with Michael Jackson too. Like with the Michael Jackson thing, he owned so much of Sony. Right. And he owned Hey Jude. He owned a ton of the Beatles catalog. He owned Eminem's catalog. Right. Like when Eminem made that song where he was like making fun of MJ owned that song when it came out.
No, he went and he bought it because he was like kind of like pissed off that Eminem was making money off of him. So now every time you perform it, there's money in my pocket, which is
he already owned it previously.
Oh, he
didn't even buy it after. He owned it. Yeah, he owned his catalog entirely before he even did it. So, like, it's the same thing because then Michael Jackson started calling whatever his name is, Tony something. He started calling him the devil, and he started acting with, like, agency, saying how corrupt Sony was. And then, a couple months later, that's when the pedophile stuff came out.
Yeah, and he wrote a song about crying for Palestine. And then, like, a couple months later, the pedo stuff comes out.
Yeah.
Now, again, we can have a discussion on whether the pedo stuff was real or not. I tell the story all the time. Dana did some videos for him and went to his green room and he had Tiger Beat magazine everywhere. You know,
Totally normal for an adult man.
Yeah, I mean, we love to be like, "Oh, dude, he got framed. Oh, he had kids sleeping in his bed."
Did you see that video that just some guys did, like these sketch guys, where it's in this popular format now, where you're like the publicist for this guy about to do an interview, and they're behind the scenes, like, and it's just Michael Jackson trying to get through an interview without saying something super creepy, and then he finally gets to like. Yeah, I mean, I've had kids in my bed. I've had many children in my bed. What's the big deal? I love children. Yeah. I mean, and the guys are just behind the scene like, no, my God,
Yeah.
you're almost there.
Yeah.
That's weird, dude. That's weird.
Sometimes, I mean, like, I think Michael Jackson, I mean, just think about how big Michael Jackson was and the elites were able to take him down. Like, there was argument he's the most famous person on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And they took him down.
Do you think if that happened today with the internet, it would have gone down the same way? Or do you think a lot of people, well, depending, obviously, if he is framed.
That's a great question. I mean, like Xavier Guerrero with a great question out of nowhere, you know, and it is, if they make this statement about Michael Jackson and the internet pushes back, does it still move the way they thought it would?
What are they pushing back on? That's my question.
Well, so like, I didn't know
What
there
if
was.
they say there's no real evidence?
There really wasn't, because the FBI did search for a really long time.
I mean, other than
Let's just
if
say
if you say those two guys accusing him, are liars or whatever, okay, I guess.
But I mean, dude, there could have been a pushback, and the internet does work, in my humble opinion, like that.
What Sam said, Sam said, I didn't know that there was a Palestine song made by Michael Jackson right before the
They
pedal
wouldn't
thing.
put it out.
Yeah, and if with now the internet would have been like, well, what a coincidence! Look what he did before, and everyone would be like, okay, he's being set up.
But here's the thing: there'd be way more footage now of Michael Jackson saying weird shit.
Yeah.
And if he did do it, we would have footage of it.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
He would have dug himself deeper.
He would have been
If
on
we had
island.
another 15 years of Michael Jackson, who knew what weird shit he would have said by
Isn't
then?
it weird that he's not on the list?
I don't know if he was. That's interesting. But real quick, so you bring up Michael Jackson. He goes off reservation. So if they blow you up and then you try to go off reservation, they hate that shit. If they blow you up, they want to make all the money for your entire career.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what, like, I mean, what I think that they do personally is they have people, right? And they like people who have these sort of precarious hobbies, right? Like P. Diddy's a freak, you know, Michael Jackson does whatever Michael Jackson does. The same thing with kind of like Bill Cosby, right? Like Bill Cosby, you know, obviously did all of the horrible things that he did, but he went off reservation too because he tried to buy NBC in 1993.
Dude, Michael Jackson, Prince, right? Prince, you remember I'm a Symbol Now?
Yeah, Prince is another one, yeah.
And the weirdest one that people may not agree with, but Louis C.K. Louis C.K. was like the industry darling. He was writing movies. He's writing TV shows. He's doing all this. Suddenly now he wants to produce all of his own stuff on his own, where he's keeping all the money. And then suddenly that old story comes out, and he's totally kneecapped.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah.
You might know about this. I'm not too much in the music industry, but wasn't he about to buy all his contract was about to be up. They weren't happy about it because he was about to buy all his record labels, and then that's when the whole pedal thing comes out. They let Kendrick run with it. Because why would you let your cash cow be called a pedophile? Unless you want him to.
There's something possibly to that, but Drake is a weirdo.
But that's the thing is, they know
Drake's wild.
Yeah, but they know people are weirdos as it is, so that's why they let them go up. Because when they want to bring them back down, they're like, "Oh, look, we have this from you."
Well, I mean, dude, it goes back to what he's saying about Scientology and what Johnny said. They learn every little bit of dirt on you. So that's what they do.
The Drake Kendrick stuff was interesting because like it was Universal Music, right? And they were playing both sides because both of them are both signed to Universal. So Universal is getting all of the, you know, contributions from both sides. They loved the fighting, and I personally I look at everything when it comes to the music industry. There's the business industry side of it, and then there is an underpinning and an esoteric occult side of it. So I believe that UMG loved the fighting because they were making money from both sides, but then there's this occult side where I believe that Drake represents sort of the old guard, and Kendrick sort of represented the new guard, and there's a change in the guard, right? Like earlier we're talking about how Beyonce is sort of aging out. We have Sabrina Carpenter, Chappell Roan, all of these other younger artists that are taking, the forefront of the music industry. And there is a fundamental shift, and that goes in a business sense and in a sense of the occult, right? So there's so many different factions within Hollywood, within the industry. There's different kind of angles to it in that way.
No, I completely agree with that. Out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you're losing the kid, if they don't see the kids playing your stuff anymore, it's like, okay, that's done. We gotta get somebody else to capture this generation and push this shit. It's 100% there. Yeah, it's crazy.
And one thing too with Universal that's so fucked up. I started off as a musician, right? I still make music. I'm a musician. I love making music. It's my passion, right? I found this out, and this kind of fucked with my head, honestly. So Universal Music is truly Universal Music. They own all of the independent music on the internet. And the way they did this was they went ahead and they bought the music distribution companies. So there's CD Baby, DistroKid, there's all these independent distribution companies, right? So if I want to upload a song to Spotify, I have to give it to this distributor, I have to pay them, and then they distribute the songs to the platforms for me. Well, what UMG did was they went and bought the company that owns the distribution companies. So a company called Downtown Music owns all of the major independent distribution companies, and UMG, Universal Music, bought Downtown Music. So now they're not only getting cuts of the pie from Drake and Kendrick Lamar and all of these other artists that they have signed, they're getting, the 5 cents that I make off of my music too, because they get 9% or whatever it is of every time an independent musician uploads a song as well.
Unbelievable, dude.
It's
an
fucked,
octopus, dude. It's an octopus. It's an octopus, yeah. I think it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with P. Diddy. How much? It's not gonna be till October. So, how many years he's gonna get if he gets any? They're gonna give him time served already. So, because he's been in jail for a year and a half.
Make a prediction how long he's getting.
I don't think it's more than 3 years.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
I
could see
think-
him getting time
yeah.
served. I could see him doing that.
And then he's
Yeah.
got all these lawsuits waiting for him. He might come out of this broke. He's gonna get sued so much.
Hope he was good with his money.
I'm interested in how Hollywood reacts to him. Let's say he does a year. Let's just say he does a year and he gets out. How is all these people who were in Hollywood that were saying what they said about him, how are they going to react? Because P. Diddy's nuts, dude. He blew up Kid Cudi's car. He tried to kill him.
Yeah, and I love how they didn't find him guilty on terrorism or any of that stuff. The guy's he blew my car up. They're yeah, I don't see it. It's just crazy to me. And, going back to the Pee Wee Herman stuff, how Hollywood welcomed him right back, over and over again. Every time he got accused something, a month later, he's on Conan O'Brien.
Judd Apatow comes along. Let's make a movie to rehabilitate your image.
Yeah, crazy, right?
But Diddy's done though, right? He's not going to make a book like OJ. If I had a free party.
Bill Cosby's done, but Bill Cosby is really old. Woody Allen, and we have our beliefs on Woody Allen. We think there's a lot more darkness to that. Mia Farrow was a lot more sinister than anyone wants to believe because Woody Allen looks shady as shit.
Yeah.
Let's admit, we believed it really quickly because that guy looks like a pedo, okay?
Yeah, it's creepy.
So he was gonna make movies, and a lot of people were gonna do those movies until there was a big uproar.
They still did them. Honestly, they did him until the very end. I mean, he's still making a movie a year. With there are a few people who stepped away. Some came back, and
the reaction of black people to the P. Diddy verdict, they were pouring baby oil on themselves. I mean, like, talk about being emotionally captured.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's kind of what I was saying is like why Ye is defending him too. Is it's like there's like this racial element to it that like they see it as, you know, the industry sees it as he stepped out of line, and there's this whole civil rights thing with it. Yeah, it's really wild the way that the industry in general just plays on everybody's emotions in so many ways that you end up not even knowing what to think of anything at a certain point.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically demoralization. And like with the Ghislaine Maxwell stuff, I mean, dude, that couldn't be more crazy.
About her saying that she's gonna.
I think they're gonna suicide her and then just get her out.
Can they do that? Can I run the same play twice?
Dude, 100%. What a great way to get her out.
Yeah, proves your point too.
But imagine being her and being locked up for something that technically didn't happen.
No, technically it did happen.
No, it did. It 100% happened. Yeah, but in her and now she's like, wait up. So nothing happened. So why am I in jail then?
100%.
She's like, I'll snitch all you fuckers out right now.
And her fucking weird looking sisters, right? Are like, get my hot sister out.
The only hot sister.
Get the hot one out.
Yeah, she's the hot one too. It's like
she is the hot one.
I know, but it's not hitting on much.
You know the power she had for Epstein to pick her?
No, dude. You are so wrong on that. Epstein didn't pick her. She picked Epstein, or the powers that be.
He kept her around though. Yeah, but I mean,
and there's a whole belief she was his handler.
I could see that for sure.
Her father was like a Mossad agent, dude.
What? I've never thought about that. That maybe she ran him
because it turned out like he was stealing from Israelis, which is in the Talmud the no. Steal from the goy all you want, but steal from us, And that's why they took him out.
It's funny. Brett Weinstein has this whole thing about how he thinks that Epstein was not only involved in the space that we know about, but also involved in somehow. I don't quite understand his argument, and if either of you guys do, explain it. But that he was like there to also set back science and kind of divert science from. Yeah, it's like that is like more than we even know. You know, it's much more than the blackmail.
Yeah. There was like an entire education side of it too. You're right, Johnny. I don't really know a ton about it, but I know what you're talking about, and that's interesting too. When you know that Ghislaine's father was like what was it? He owned like Maxwell Hill, like a publication.
Yes. Yeah.
He owned like all these publications. He was like textbooks, magazines, almost everything. Basically, convinced everybody to put Pegasus in their phones, all these intelligence agencies. Like, and everyone's like, you can't prove that Epstein was a part of Mossad. What do you mean, dude? I mean, are we stupid? I mean, Lex Wexner running the Mega Group. It's called the Mega Group. And now we're talking about MAGA. I mean, dude, they were a giant Israeli intelligence like group that just were like super Zionist. It's like unbelievable. And like everyone's like, who cares? Charles Kirk with his fucking gums.
God, I mean, have they not just proven themselves to just be total phonies? When as soon as Trump starts saying nothing there, nothing to see, it's like we're done with it.
I've talked about it enough. Yeah, you said it's not real. Is that all?
Dude, and I tell you who looks better than ever in this light is Elon, because he was the one, as soon as he left Trump's company, he said the reason he doesn't want this coming out is because he's on the list.
And it just proved to be true.
Right away. Yeah. Instantly.
Holy shit. Any other stories, dude? If not, we had a great show. I just didn't know if you had anything else. If not, this has been
you know what, I do have something I'm working on right now that this video should be coming out this week and kind of like next week. I have this thing I've been working on for like the last like 3 or 4 months. And essentially I have found and I can't say who it is yet, but I have found there's a new, like, Aleister Crowley that is about right now, and that is helping some of the most influential people literally on the planet and in the entertainment industry particularly to like do like ritual magic, and it's fucking crazy.
God,
so
really?
I can, yes, yeah, no, like
we know who he is.
I know who he is, yeah, and I'm gonna be.
Is he known though? Is he or she known?
Known enough that if, like, I said it and explained it, people would be like, "Oh wow." So yeah, like it's not somebody. It's not Marina Abramovich. It's not Michelle Lamy. It's not like Jay-Z. It's not someone like that. But it is somebody who has ties to Rick Rubin. And it's really fucking crazy. So I could kind of tell. I'll tell you about a good amount of it. So So have you ever seen an interview with Rick Rubin where they like ask him like, what is it you do, right? And he never really has an answer.
Yeah, totally.
That is interesting.
He's always like, they're like I was watching one with Anderson Cooper, right? I'm editing this big, huge video, and Anderson Cooper's like, what is it you do? And he's like, I don't know. I have confidence. And he's like, can you play instruments? He's like, no, I can't play instruments. I don't know how to work a soundboard.
He says he has taste is his thing.
He says he has taste, right? So he came out with this book, okay? Creative Act, A Way of Being. I have this book. I've read the book.
Yeah.
And I have painstakingly gone through videos, and I have taken the books that are in the background of Rick Rubin interviews and found the books in his library are occultic books, right? They're books on the occult. And his entire book, A Creative Act, A Way of Being, is literally just recycled occult teachings. So it's not like one or two things. Okay, I've broken down, the book is 7 different occult teachings from various different occultists, right? And I have even like read a page of one of the occult books. One of them is called Magic Black and White by a guy named Franz Hartmann. Okay. Another one is a book called With the Adepts by Franz Hartmann as well. And Franz Hartmann has really influenced Rick Rubin. Well, Franz Hartmann, okay, was friends with Helena Blavatsky, okay?
Whoa.
And Franz Hartmann ran the Theosophical Society with this German guy, and they were the guys who basically revitalized something called Wotanism. Wotanism is the sort of like, I guess I'll call it like the architecture of like the Nazi occultism. That's like what it is. So all of those teachings are all in Rick Rubin's book, and I break all of it down, and it's super fucking crazy what Rick Rubin is doing. So Rick Rubin, he talks about in this book, he basically says like, what you want to do is you want to empty yourself out, okay? And you want to channel energy and channel the platonic realm of forms and channel the universe into you, and then you put that out, and that's what gets you good art. That's what this book is about. It's about his aesthetic philosophy on how to create good art, right? And the whole thing is literally just occult teaching. It has Hermeticism, it has Kabbalah, it has alchemy, it has the Tao, it has Eastern mysticism. It's fucking crazy. It's so crazy.
And you're saying that there's someone behind him?
Yes.
Is this new Aleister Crowley? And how old is this new Aleister Crowley?
Very young. Like young.
Wait,
like,
it's not that sweet. It's not a Swedish guy, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
Is it American?
Yeah, it's American. And here's the one thing. So like I'm doing this video on it, and I don't want people to think that this guy's like some evil, because I've spoken to this person, and they're very nice, and they're like fucking brilliant, super brilliant. They've actually, like, oddly enough, like given me advice on how to like I had a really bad stalker, like really, really bad.
Yeah, I saw those videos.
Yeah, and he gave me advice on how to navigate that. That actually worked really well. But the person behind it, it's so interesting. Like,
do you think that by putting out this video that you're doing on him, it's going to cause some problems between you and him?
I don't think so, because I'm really attacking it. Not attacking it. I shouldn't say that. I'm making it from like I'm explaining it, because I think the thing with Crowley is like, you know, I obviously have a negative view of him. He was crazy. He was a drug addict. He was kind of a monster, really. But the thing is he was really into the occult, obviously. And this person is super into the occult, but I don't see any of the evil, weird, bad shit with this person.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's simply like their religion or their way of being or whatever.
And
right?
what did he tell you to do? I don't want to make you uncomfortable if he told you what to do with the stalker.
Oh, basically, he said to reach out to the stalker's parents, because I guess like there's like an Oedipal complex where like someone who's stalking somebody, if you reach out to their parents, it like hits them a certain way psychologically. Because a lot of like what I discovered about what Rick Rubin does, right? So like Rick Rubin has this system of how to create good art, and he explains it. And what I have done is I've like taken my study of this Crowley-esque figure, and I've taken my study of Rick Rubin, right? And what I've done is I found what it is that makes art good, right? And it's something you highlighted and you said very quickly in the episode where you said authenticity, right? And I was like pointing, because that is what Rick Rubin is trying to get to with this esoteric writing, is underneath, right? Like psychology, right? So we have like if you think of an iceberg, right? At the top you have consciousness, then you have the water. Under the water you have like unconsciousness, right? Well, Carl Jung really influenced Rick Rubin and influenced this new kind of figure. And in this sort of unconscious realm, there is what Jung calls the collective unconscious. And this is like the collective, the group. So like it would be, you know, the things that make us the way we are unconsciously due to our cultural upbringings, right? So, you know, I was raised in Southern California. I'm a white dude, blah, blah, blah. I have these, you know, collective unconscious thoughts. Well, what I've done is I've read all their stuff and taken it a step further. And what Rick Rubin is trying to do is he's trying to animate something underneath that, which is called the archetypes. And the archetypes are essentially like what tarot is, like tarot cards and all that stuff, right? You have like the hero, the fool, the hermit. He's trying to activate those using esotericism and inject that into the music. And because those things are these sort of spiritual underpinnings to what make us what we are,
dude,
right?
I am so into what you're saying right now. And I've been talking about this. Archetypes are easier for people to digest. It's almost like they don't have to think. They just understand it. And even to the point where I say, like with actors, it's like you don't have to learn acting, just learn to be a stereotype almost, right? Like 100%. An instantly understood archetype or stereotype. And that's what I struggle with artistically, because I don't fit into any of those. You know, I'm like my own kind of thing. But what you're talking about 100% resonates with me right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, if you think about it, right? I mean, you're a comedian, right? Like the jokes that are sometimes the best ones are the ones where you relate to the comedian, or it's like, oh yeah, I've gone through that.
Yeah.
Right? That's an archetype. And so what
100%. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah,
like 100%. That's what we're talking about. And this is why Hollywood struggles right now, in this desire to push wokeism and Marxism, they're trying to break archetypes. They're trying to push in these new kind of ideas, and it's going horribly for them. I guess Netflix is doing well, I guess, because like they're all over the world, so they got all this income coming from all these other countries. But they're talking about these fucking streaming services. I mean, linear television's done, but now they're talking about these streaming services are in deep shit because subscriptions are going down because they're pushing woke shit on you, and they're still doing it. They're just not celebrating it.
Here's what's amazing about what you're saying. This is what that new Crowley figure talks about, because what he has done is he has created a literal magic system that interprets the internet as these afflictions that are bastardizing and destroying the archetypes that are within us. So, the archetypes are like, the way you could look at it is like they're kind of like parts of God, right? Like they're these sort of really big, kind of like stereotypes, like you're talking about, right? Like the fool. The fool is my favorite archetype, right? And what is happening is, like you're saying, the internet and these companies are bastardizing these archetypes we know, and they're ruining them and they're tarnishing them. So what is happening is, instead of me embodying and understanding these archetypes, I am now embodying a diseased and afflicted or a demonic bastardized version of an archetype. And that is why my art might not be good or whatever, because I can't resonate.
Yes. And it is the false reality that is being projected on the God's reality.
Yep, it's the Matrix, literally, and this is everything that the new Crowley talks about, and it's fucking crazy.
You don't even need a new Crowley. Come to me, listen to this fucking show, because I've been talking about this forever, and it's like, are you getting closer to God, archetypes, or farther from God, disease archetypes?
Bingo.
How lucky are you? You sit
very
next to
lucky.
a fucking guy, gives you all of it for free all the time, and then you make money on top of that. I'm not going to pay you anymore. You're just going to enjoy it, okay? Hey,
number one
Izzy.
podcast in the world.
Number one podcast in the world. Great show, dude. I love when you're on. You're always have an open door to come on whenever you want. Give them where they can find you again.
Okay, so if you want the real stuff, okay, all the breakdowns fully sourced, those are on my Patreon, patreon.com/IzzyNGriffin. I do have free trials on there, and it's only $5 a month. Okay. Also, my Instagram, super popular, @IzzyNGriffin, and the same thing on YouTube, @IzzyNGriffin. You can also sample everything on my YouTube if you'd like, and then go to the Patreon from there. I do music. I do everything. IzzyNGriffin on everything. I appreciate you guys having me on. You guys fucking rule. Seriously.
You're a 5-tool player, bro. You're a 5-tool player. I fucking love it. I love watching you blow up, and it's fucking great. And you have an open door to come on anytime. Let's break down the episode. All right, what do you guys think?
We had deep down the music rabbit
I
hole.
loved it.
You loved it because we talked about Sabrina Carpenter.
Well, I loved it because, like, I'm all into that. Like, the hidden hand.
Me too. Yeah.
And, it's like, again, I always say that the biggest proof of God is darkness, because we live in a binary yin and yang world. For there to be darkness, there must be light. I really do believe that.
You brought up the John Lennon thing there too. I was looking them up. There were a bunch of other premonitions he had. Like this is on video and a couple documentaries about him. He's in bed reading the mail, and he gets a letter, and it says, "I have interpreted a message from beyond the grave." The source was Brian Epstein. The Beatles' former manager, is dead, and says that there will be an attempt on your life. Now it gets the time wrong, and then they kind of joke it off like that, and then Lennon's got all these quotes about I always felt I'd be popped off by some loony. It could happen anytime. I'm not afraid of dying. I just don't want to be there when it happens. He tells a little joke there. He says, what the hell was it? In his last interview, he was talking about kind of in like this kind of poignant way about his life. You know, you could tell it was like he felt like he was at the end of something. It's really strange. He called himself a marked man a few times. He said he went to a palm reader and they had a really bad sense about something happening to him one time. He says he used to joke all the time, I'm not about to get myself shot. So yeah, that he knew, man. He knew. It's so creepy.
How'd it happen again?
He just got shot.
He basically was coming back from a studio and he got out of the car and the guy hit him.
David Chapman.
But then there's also a lot, like if you read this book called The Murder of John Lennon or Killing John Lennon, I gotta get the name right, but you know, they talk about like there's so much going on with Chapman. Weird trips around the world that nobody knows how he paid for, the YMCA, their connections to the CIA, and then it wasn't even talked about in this book, but they're discussing like the door guy at his hotel was CIA. There's all this other stuff that was all around him, and the notion is that okay, this guy's a huge thing. Why are you allowing people to hang out with him, hang out front when he's going to go into his apartment?
Yeah, it's funny, and he had the opportunity to get more security, but he never wanted to, even with those threats. And he signed Double Fantasy. That was the album that just come out in 1980, his comeback album, which was a good album. I think it didn't get reviewed well at the time. After he died, everybody kind of updated.
I love it.
They updated their reviews. Yeah, it's funny how that works. But he signed Double Fantasy for Chapman, then left. And then came back, and Chapman blew him away. He got down in a combat stance and said, "Mr. Lennon," and then just shot him.
A combat stance had hollow point.
Kneeled down, yeah, hollow point bullets.
Bullets that he got from this guy they think they thought he was having a gay relationship with in like the Georgia area. And they're like, "Why'd you give him hollow tip?" And he's like, "He said he was scared in New York." You're like, "What are you fucking? Those are cop killers, you fucking idiot." So. And then just like, he's like telling chicks to hang out to watch what's about to happen. Like he's about to pull pussy. It's like, but if you go into it, it's the hidden hand of art. It's like, I always said this, if people knew how much the game was rigged in Hollywood, I'm not saying that there aren't people that make it that aren't connected. They do, but it's like way, way more than, it's way more trust fund kids than people realize. But anyways, go to SamTripoli.com. Check out some of the dates. We'll get back to this discussion in 2 seconds. Premium content is on fire. This LIBOR scandal is nuts. Whatever this is one of the best shows you'll ever see on the internet. I'm putting up 3 episodes a week. It's crushing. I love doing it. I love doing shows for you guys. And then talk about the Cash Daddies Patreon.
Oh, how he's killing it. Damn. He's now that he's not giving away the picks anymore.
Oh man, now I gotta pay
gonna
for
have
it.
To join now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's on a hot
We
streak
have
here.
a new thing where he's not allowed to put in the ticker of. He already did it there. He did it. Oh, that's an old one that we already discussed.
Okay, thank goodness.
But yeah, he was.
Yeah, he's killing it.
He's on fire, dude. $20 sounds like a lot until you think about all the money you could be making if you play your game right, Johnny.
It's not even just that too. It's just the educational component. I mean, he starts every year by explaining, how to buy and sell options and why you want an IRA, the type of IRA to get, all these really important things. If you're trying to set yourself up for retirement.
We have a couple of new T-shirts coming. I'll tell you about that later on. But T-shirts are a great way to support the show. Go up. Guys, I'm working on the Chaos Twins. It's getting colored right now, and we are very excited about it, and I'm very, very excited about this issue. So number 2's coming, dude. Grab it now. We're working on number 3 as well. All of our affiliates, Rife Technology, dude, there's nobody better than Matt Rife. And, he's got this machine that could center your energy, and it's great for you. Harley Ray, we love them with all of our hearts. All of the candles, crystals, sage you need. And then, this guy's asking phenomenal questions.
Right here, baby.
Brain Supreme, we can't recommend it enough. If you love the show, take Brain Supreme while you listen to the show and just download the greatness. It's super great for you. I would love to do it during jiu-jitsu. I really want to. I got to come to grips with it, but I want to do it. So go check them out, dude. And again, we got more affiliates coming. And that's it. Anything else, guys?
Hit that like button, subscribe, and go check out XG Marks the Spot on YouTube. Please go watch me do Molly according to Sam.
Yeah, this guy's doing tons of Molly. Johnny.
I'm on Twitter at Johnny Woodard, arguing with bots all day, all night.
Dude, that's the name of the game. Guys, we appreciate you. We love you. Check out these highlights. You'll love them.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim.
Where white people want to live.
Would you say cloud seeding, Sam?
Oh, my God. You want to get into that,
seeding?
Johnny?
I feel like, yeah, we should, but I feel like we
How's
can't.
that Theo Vaughn looking dude allowed to walk the streets? And he's like, I had nothing to do with it. I cloud seeded 120 miles ago. Bro, you're not dumb.
Okay.
You know the ecosystem is completely and utterly imbalanced.
Yes.
So if you mess with over here, you're going to mess with something over here.
And we got to talk about the most pedantic bullshit artist of a weatherman you've ever seen. This guy right here comes on and talks to people like they're 5, like they couldn't possibly understand
this guy
the weather.
is trying to get called to the big leagues.
Yes, you
because
can
if
tell.
you're on local news, you didn't make it. That's the whole theory. If you see someone old in local news, they never got called up.
Yeah.
So this guy's like, I'm going to bullshit you so the lizard people love me.
He's in Houston, though. He's like in AAA. So he's just waiting for the call to the weather
Yeah,
channel.
he's like, let me tell you about weather that isn't true, but lizards love it.
And the things he explains here, I mean, just for anybody with a brain, don't make sense. For instance, he talks about how, and I don't want to play the whole thing because it's 9 minutes, but he talks about how they are cloud seeding and then there's this massive tropical depression that's coming in, and so obviously they couldn't create the kind of moisture that would be equivalent to this tropical system. But that begs the question: why would they be cloud seeding before a tropical system was about to come in if it was going to rain like that?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
The question is, what is in the area they flooded? What's there?
Yes, yeah.
What do they want?
Yeah, it's just like
and then
asphalt.
who are they hitting? Oh, Christians, children. That is an emotional scar.
In fact, I think it's the top comment on this video, if I'm not mistaken, because I was going down there to comment it, and then you could. How do you get to the comments?
Gotta go
Keep
click
changing.
the.
Where's the thing? Did they turn it off?
Show the chat replies.
Where do you see it? Oh no, it's not. It's in the comments. Oh, here they are. They're way down there. The mainstream media check. Hold on. Oh, here it is, right here. Why cloud seed when a tropical storm remnant is on its way? And that's the question that just unravels everything this fucking guy says.
Okay, let's go.
Hi, everybody. Mike Iskovitz here.
Oh, real
I wanted
quick,
to
start
talk
at
to
the
you
beginning. Now,
about-
listen.
That is the beginning.
People do this. Hi, guys. I've done this. I've been just sitting there like this. I go, oh, God, it's on camera. They're going to see it.
Yeah.
They're going to think I'm doing some hand signals. It's just resting my hands.
Yeah,
But
I did.
Look
the
how
one
he
eye
opens
thing.
up.
Yeah, you're right. I did the one eye thing accidentally the other day. I had a Drew Carey DVD and I was like covering my eye.
Oh.
And people were like, "Oh, dude, doing the one eye on." I was like,
It's
"Shit,
just, I
got
love
me.
conspiracy
You
theories
got
until
me.
I don't.
You got me."
Hi, everybody. Mike Iskovitz here. I wanted to talk to you about a couple of terms that are going around that a lot of people may be hearing for the first time. and are
What
becoming
weird
very-
shit is this guy into?
This is my other favorite thing about this, by the way, saying a couple of things you may be hearing for the first time. Unless you're a conspiracy theorist, then you've known about it since the 80s.
For decades.
Yeah.
And he has, like, I do weird shit behind closed doors energy.
You know who he reminds me of? Is Podesta. He's got Podesta energy. This is Podesta vibes right here, this guy.
Suspicious of. And I want to explain what they mean and also why I don't blame you for being suspicious.
Yeah, and I'm going
those
to tell
two
you why
terms
you shouldn't
are
think that.
Cloud seeding and geoengineering.
It's just classic
So
propaganda.
let's start out
technique.
really quickly with geoengineering. That one I think is easier to explain. Geo means
You-
Earth.
you
and,
guys are dumb.
Geography and geology, right? Geoengineering.
Yeah, we get
Oh,
geo.
thank you.
Engineering is engineering is
Geotracker.
designing and building things. So in this case, geoengineering is modifying the Earth, right? Or building something on the Earth.
Yeah, dude, yeah,
And I'll
yeah,
give you
yeah.
a couple of really quick, easy examples. Building a dam on a river is a type of geoengineering.
Caused a
We're
lot of
changing
floods,
the Earth,
destroyed a
right? There
lot
used to
of
be a
places.
river that flowed
Hit a
through
lot
here.
of
We
secret
wanted to create a reservoir
civilization.
for drinking
Hidden
water and for
civilization.
recreation.
And there's been
So you
disasters
build
because
a
of this
dam,
thing right here.
and maybe you use that dam for.
See, he's trying to say that, like, oh, see, it's a normal thing. It happens all
Yeah,
the time.
dude.
Yeah, it's caused great
Manipulating
disasters.
planet Earth is totally normal, dude. Yeah,
corporate power
the guys you
or-
don't trust want to black out the sky. Yeah, hello.
It caused the Dust Bowl.
If
before
there's
the Great
anyone I
Depression.
trust, is bitch tits Bill Gates, the guy who wears a sweater in the summer.
You don't, but either
just
way,
horrifying, this.
you've put a blockage on the river. You've created a lake that wasn't there before. That's geoengineering.
Oh,
all right?
thank you.
Another example is, let's say we have a port, and we have
Yeah, he's talking about jetties and stuff.
or we can create a port and a
Yeah.
that is taking place in Texas and also in New Mexico and among other spots, the Carolinas as well. And that comes down to what is called cloud seeding.
Which they would not admit existed for until maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Would they finally admit, yeah, we're doing
When the podcast took over
Yeah.
and everyone talked about it.
this was a thing that was as fringe gets, cloud seeding.
Yeah.
That's seeding like
Ever.
planting
Weather
seeds.
manipulation.
What in the-
Oh, why don't you just blame it on the Jays?
Yeah, that's it right there. Space lasers, Jewish space lasers. That
You
was,
remember
oh, shit.
when this one black congressman was like, they're controlling the weather, and everyone in Hollywood,
Yep.
just because they got to feel that oppression,
Yep.
oh, yeah, it's the Jays that did it. You're like, bro, he never even said the Jays.
No, that says more about them that they thought he
Well,
was
because they
implying
love it. They got to get that, dude. It gives their dead nipples some feeling.
that. You know, dead nipple is a real thing.
Of course it is, dude.
I watched Botched, and if the nipple dies, dude, you're screwed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you get like a breast in the tissue,
A guy
on the-
or a girl?
men or women, I
Are
assume.
men
but
getting
women-
breast implants?
Dude, there's this one guy on Botched that made a bet. He's like an extreme gambling addict, and he made a bet that he could get as much attention as some woman in a bar if he had a big old set of titties, which is obviously true. Guy bet him $100,000 that he wouldn't do it, and this guy had these tits in for like 20 years. And finally, he was like, I don't even really want to get them taken out. I just want to make sure they're healthy and safe and everything. And the doctor was like, yeah, dude, you can just keep these. Are great tits. And he kept them.
So he's
Still
a
got 'em.
regular guy with a fat rack?
That's it, dude. Yeah. I'll even show you. I'm sure.
So he
he's
probably
famous on
got
the
into
internet.
some butt stuff.
Oh, there's something. But he looks like, he doesn't look like he'd be in the weird stuff, which probably means he is. But let me see. Okay. Man who bet.
You know who's in
and
the weird
got-
stuff? Guys who look like they're in the weird stuff, and guys that don't look like they're in the weird stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Right?
There he is,
It's like you remember when we were the COVID? You remember that? And they're like, one of the symptoms
Wait, what?
is you COVID.
Oh, yes,
You
of
know,
course.
one of the symptoms is you have no symptoms.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here's a California man who basically proves everyone has their price.
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/SamTripoli.
Go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hat, tinfoil hat, tinfoil